I'm sorry, I'm back live for another Ab Nation Live Tonight show with the hockey coach, Euro coach franchise directly for the beautiful country of Thailand on the great Friday night, March 24th, 2023. Hopefully an amazing great week is the time to talk about the Montreal Canadiens. Again, one more hour. Let's talking about what's going on with the Montreal Canadiens. What do you think about my biggest question of the night? Who is going to be or is the best center number one for Montreal Canadiens? Is it Nick Suzuki or is it Dach? So that will be the subject of the night. Just try to get out the picture I'm supposed to bring to you guys. First of all, here, I don't know where are they now, but that's what's going to happening tonight between the show. We're going to talk about different news around the Montreal Canadiens. We have a big news coming very soon, going to announce by Ken News. I will not be surprised the next 24 and 48 hours. I'll ask a question to you guys. What will be the amount of the new contract for RHP? How much money you want to give to him if you are the Montreal Canadiens? So that will be another subject we'll talk about tonight at the Ab Nation. By the way, if you follow the NHL, 3-game in action tonight. First of all, 2 of them are right now at the third period. To surprise, the Blue Jackets are beating the Islanders by the score 4-2. We got another Michigan goal tonight, this time by Johnson from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Go over the right shoulder of Varlamov, and then the Sabres shock the Devils by the score 5-2. Very surprised the Islanders, the way they play tonight. They should beat the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's not going to happen. Look like finally, if the Colorado Avalanche owes the Coyotes tonight at the Ball Arena. We have a few people knock the door. We have Gary Cournoyeur is in the house. Welcome aboard, Gary. Thanks to be with our Canadian show. Well, Mr. Enartap, welcome back aboard. Mr. Enartap, co-host of the Hockey Nation, of the warm-up show. We have RJ, GJ Corville is in the house. Welcome aboard. Long time. Mr. Jake Maganui, back in the house. And what a friend from Ottawa, Claude Richard. He is with the Hockey Nation show tonight on the great Friday night. Like I mentioned to you, we're going to talk about, try to find where are they. If I can get it, guys, it will be more easier. Something, let me check about this right there. Could that. Here we go. We're going to get the next one. Here we go. By the way, I don't know if you saw Mike Hoffman today, but Mike Hoffman, he looked like he is this way. This is Mike Hoffman, guys. After the cross-checking he got in the face, RJ Greer got only one game suspended after what he did to Mike Hoffman. Mike Hoffman a little bit upset about this. He mentioned, I got suspended for 2 games cross-checking someone in the behind the head or in the back of the neck, and he's not very happy about the fact of Greer got only 1 game suspension. A lot of thing happening between the Montreal Canadiens and the Boston Bruins. The rivalry pop up last night. Will be interesting. This continues the next couple of games and the future between the Boston. We always been a big rivalry in the past between the Boston Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens. We have Alexandre Meilleur knock the door. Welcome aboard. William McClary, welcome back in the house. William McClary, thanks to be with our Canadian live show tonight. And then Melissa Zabran is in the house directly from Detroit. Maybe it's Detroit. The Islanders cut the lead from 2 to go at 1 goal now. It's 4-3 right now for the Blue Jackets. And Mr. Natap, why New Islander will play Varlamov and send a Sorokin? You must be sure the center when they are come up. Yeah, great point about that. I think they may be thinking it will be an easier game for them, and they're thinking it'll be easier to go that way. Now, it's a back-to-back game, right? So tomorrow, Islanders play at home against the Sabres tomorrow. Well, it's not a back-to-back game. They play the Blue Jacket, but usually you try to keep your goaltender at home and not on the road. Mr. Natap, that's maybe the best answer I can give it to you as a coach. That's what you try to accomplish. Like, by the fact, Blue Jacket play tomorrow night against a Montreal Canadian at the Bell Center. Montreal have a little bit more easier schedule the next week. We play Columbus Saturday, Monday, Buffalo, and Tuesday, the Flyers. The Milwaukee lead 2-1 against the Laval Rocket. We are at the beginning of the third period. We're going to give you a little bit more information about that game. The Laval Rocket are right now on the battle of the make a spot in the playoff in the American Hockey League. They are not in yet. They are a couple of points behind. The team right now have not many, missing a lot of players for that organization. Anyhow, let's see what we got a little bit lower if we have some kind of conversation. Alexandre said, welcome back. I still can't believe Kiryanov missed the empty net yesterday at the end of the game. About that, Kurnev could score 2 goals yesterday. Now the Devils cut the lead from 3 goals at 2 goals, by the way. Kurnev yesterday could add at least 2 more goals with the Montreal Canadiens. He have an empty net. He flipped the puck. How can you miss a net like... I understand it's easy as me and you talking that way, right? We want the players to usually turn the blade of the stick in, not out. It looked like it's more like being out. He just tried to flop the puck and not to go all the way down. Everything like that, you want to be sure your lower ends on the stick is really where you put the weight on that one over there. And unfortunately, we did not. We see a Korean move a little bit more backwards at forwards. That's a little bit tip we can mention to any players play a youth travel or any level. We want to be sure they go in and not out. But Alexandre, I agree with you. John Gregor, welcome back. John Gregor again back in the house. Sean McIntyre from the Maritime. Welcome back, Sean. Great having you aboard. Coach, cannot believe the boost Dach and make and the lineup. It just might be the best player to have. So impressed by Kirby Dach. Great point about this. Zev Lekav is in the house. I'm going to talk about him the next couple of seconds. Zev Lekav, welcome aboard. Better question would be, can Suzuki and Dach be your number 1 and number 2 center and deliver a cup? About that one over there. Hit a point behind that one over there. So what I did, I created a video this morning, about showing to you the difference between both of them. And my conclusion about that was they are similar. They maybe not play at the same characteristic of what they do, but at the end, I still believe they have the same number, the point at the end of the season. It's going to be an NHL Kirby Dach and Nick Ski to have a carry-on about 25 goal average per season. That would be my best for them, because for me to score 30, 35, 40 goals in NHL, right? You have to have a mix of slap shot and a mix of quick release and to drive drive to the net. They go there, but they don't stay there, right? Suzuki is more the guy go over the outside the dots most of the time, and Kirby Dach go in and out, but Kirby Dach not stay in front of the net. And that would be my only concern about them to be a regular player, center, score 35 goals, 40 goals per year. I don't see that to go that direction in any moment in their career. Now, do you have other characteristics? You can talk about this. You get a 6'4" center and a 6'5", Suzuki. That's the biggest difference right there. You can talk about this. Let's see what we get in the chat first of all, before I go really deep about that conversation. André Robert Drouin, welcome aboard. Thanks for being with our Canadian show. Kenneth, welcome back. Kenneth, directly from Thailand. Welcome back, Mr. Kenneth. Hopefully doing well. And happy Saturday morning, 8/11. And should the Habs try to trade for Pierre-Luc Dubois? Great question. First of all, I think for me, I would not do it. And I will tell you the reason behind that. I feel like Montreal could wait next year during the time you become a UFA and to trade for Pierre-Luc Dubois if he repeat exactly the same productivity he did this year. I will turn around that question, both of you, for everybody in the chat. I know we're going to a little bit more flying left and right, but do you believe Pierre-Luc Dubois is going to have a better point, more point at Kirby Dach or Nick Ski per season? Do you think Pierre-Luc Dubois are going to have a little bit more point? And during the time, both players, because Dubois is about 25, he's on 26, and then Suzuki is behind for 1 year and a half behind him, and then Dubois is about 3 years and a half or 4 years younger to Dubois. One Dach is going to be at the same age like Dubois. Do you think Dach is going to be the same kind of number? And that's what may be another question you can ask between all of you guys. Dach, he roamed the ice very smooth and gracious. One is the last time we have a talented 6'4" center, maybe Bobby Smith. As a center, you have to go that area. I agree with you about that. Big like 6'4", you have to get there. You know, you can talk about Pierre Turgeon, you can talk about Vincent D'Anfos, but I think both of them are 6'2". I don't think so. They are 6'3", 6'4". So you have to go that Bobby Smith. Great point, Gary, about that. This Habs team is going to look at so different a year from now, let alone the year that they are back in the Cup final. William, that they are back in the Cup final. I think Montreal Canadiens, guys, to be honest with you, I will go for about 3 years before they become a good team in the NHL. I think that will be a good statement in my eyes. I don't know the fans will be patient until for at least a minimum of 2 more years, but I don't see Montreal next year to be, 2022. I still believe Montreal is going to be about 25th in NHL 24. The following year after that, maybe a team is going to be between 18 to 22. And then after that, year number 3, that's what you're going to compete now for the playoff in year number 3. Yes, Dach not big enough for a sample. I'm starting to see Sarkowski could be a good second worst third line winger for the month. I don't know why you said that. We see only 39 game for Sarkowski. He take example, Capo is a great example. Jack Hughes, he take a great example. The Islander tied the game, guys 4-4. I think for me, Sarkowski, you have to wait 2 years before you qualify him, or he's going to be in the Montreal Canadiens at some point. It's too early to consider him. He's going to be that way or that way. He's too young. The kid he only played 39 games. I think he's hanging there at 6'4". I think he's going to be a good asset for the Montreal Canadiens. And I will believe he's going to be a second line for the Montreal at long term. And he's going to be a guy going to play on the power play. But again, you add a 6'4" with the Dach at 6'4". That's pretty impressive as the size of the line with that. Me working all weekend. Could Pierre become a first line winger, Zevlakav? But again, you get a plus like another plus score about 30 goals per year, have about 75 points per season. And that's what you get there. So you get a Suzuki at the same kind of number. You get a Pierre-Luc Dubois winger at that kind of number. To do that, I think Montreal, I don't feel they can have at the same team Pierre-Luc Dubois and Josh Anderson. You give Josh Anderson a 20 goal at $5.5 million. You're going to get Dubois at what, $9 million? That's a lot of money. I think Montreal need more like another sniper. They maybe have it with Slavkovsky. I don't know. They have Cole Caulfield in the equation we don't talk about. Cole Caulfield at, 40 goals per year, 45 goals. They have the sniper. They have the center number 1 where he can carry on at 80 points. Like Suzuki can get that one, or Kirby Dach. That's another one. Cole Caulfield, is it better with Suzuki? Cole Caulfield, is it better with Kirby Dach? Right? Inside the organization, Montreal went out, select pick number 5. How they get Mitch Cobb or they get Will Smith? I don't know. Smith is another center. Can Montreal need another center when they already have Owen Beck in their organization right now? On the winger, you have Sean Farrell's coming very soon. You have Enneman, you have Islanen. They have Joshua Roy. But how they are able to score the 30 goals per year. The red tenant we talk about, Mikko Rantanen for the Colorado Avalanche. Can we get the Suzuki? Is it the one he can do that? I'm not sure about that. So there's all those questions we don't know yet. But the question tonight is about Kirby Dach versus Nick Suzuki. And this is the question we have for you tonight. And we're going to go a little bit more. Remove this one over there and move that one. Who is the best center, Suzuki or Dach right now? Who do you think is the best center right now? Do you think Nick Suzuki is a little bit better to Kirby Dach? Georges Larac said no to Dubois. Georges Larac is the same guy who said we need to trade Mike Madison, by the way, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Georges Larac said we should trade Mike Madison for the first round pick. Are you willing to trade Mike Madison now for a pick number 28, 29, 30? I don't know. The Devil guy cut the lead from 3 to 2 and to 1 now. They score. It's 5-4 the Buffalo Sabres against the Devils. Jack Hughes, 39 goal of the season. Gary, don't listen to Larac. Claude, do you think Winnipeg is going to lose Dubois for free? I don't think so. I'm sure they're going to have some kind of conversations during the next couple of weeks of their off season, right? They're going to mention to him. Now he have no contract where he cannot decide when to go. So what they're going to offer him is a RF-free contract this year, and they could trade him. The problem with that one is the team are going to get him for 1 year, are willing to spend some kind of return for him. Is Dubois decide? I don't know. The Winnipeg trade Dubois with the Calgary Flame example. Just an idea, right? How the Flame are willing to give this in return, and then Dubois is willing to stay and with that team. That would be the biggest question about that. Thailand is fantastic. Yes, Kenny, I agree with you about that. But just yesterday won Dubois for Hudson. There we go. Wow, that's another 1-1 over there. Like I said, don't listen to Larac. Exact. Next year, they will be training new players. Also, 3 years would be about right to have a decent team. I agree with you, Andre. I think that would be the right things about that. On my projection, I think we are. But that can you said about anyway yesterday, about during the weekend. So that would be the right things. Jean Béliveau, Gary Cournoyer said Jean Béliveau 6'4". Yeah, that's a long time ago. But I like the effect you talk about Bobby Smith. A really good one about this. Would you like to have a Dandelion? I don't know. Just an answer. Here we go. Claude. Béliveau was a big man for the time. Yeah, absolutely. Dan Asham knocked the door. Welcome aboard. Thanks for all the likes we got so far. Ed Gordy Orr was considered a larger player at 6 foot. It was amazing. And then we have Sam P is in the house. Welcome aboard, Sam P. Pierre-Luc Dubois said, Alexandre Meilleur said, forget that Dubois could accept big offer from Winnipeg. I'm sure Winnipeg are going to overpay Dubois for not losing him. There you go. Milwaukee score, and now they take the lead 3-1 against Laval Rocket. That's a very, very bad news for them. Here the point about Dubois. I don't see Dubois sign with the Winnipeg Jet a long term. I would be shocked to see that. Dubois, I think, is see right now a Winnipeg Jet in the next 12 months would be interesting to follow. Why, coach? Because they have a lot of players are going to finishing their contract. We talk about Sheffley, Wheeler, Dubois, 3 of them. And then after that, what happened with Hellebuck and what they're going to do. So that Winnipeg Jet are on the transition in the next 12 months. That would be where if the player wants to stay there or they have an opportunity to go somewhere else. So, Alexandre, I don't see that that place. William McClay go with Nick Suzuki over Kirby Dach. Winnipeg stuck with Dubois. No one would pay the exact value because they know he wants to play for. You're absolutely right about that, Zeph. Well said. What do you think about Colby Barlow? Well, Colby Barlow is a great player. Play engineer is going to be draft. Some people put him at the around 8, 9, 10. Some of them put in now like 12, 13, 14, 15. He can produce. He's a good skater. The key is he can carry on this in the NHL. He have a good size, by the way. But I think at that moment, I see him more like a 12 or a 15 draft pick if everything turned around to be good for Colby Barlow. A lot of team like him. A lot of experts like really Colby Barlow. What kind of player he look like? I could say a little bit like a, maybe not Carter Verhey. I would be a little bit more, but a Riley Smith could be a best description of Colby Barlow in my eyes. By the way, guys, I'm going to make a video the next 2-3 days. So a lot of people know maybe the name of the players, right? I would say everybody knows Bedard, Fantilli, and everything like that. Or maybe they heard about Barlow or Benson, or Will Smith, Oliver Moore, Rand Leonard, Dewaski, everything like that. Not many people learn about them, like who they are, what they do, what is great. But what I'm going to do, this video, because the people don't like to read, they don't want to waste their time, but I'm going to compare a specific players, like example, like Fantilli, he looked like Jonathan Toews in NHL, right? So I'm going to go Leo Carlson could become Mikko Rantanen in NHL. So I'm going to compare those players like Zach Benson, look like Jonathan Marchessault. So you guys, you already know the NHL players. It would be easy to compare. Oh, maybe now I can maybe consider them what it look like. So I just want to share it with you. Will be my next video about them. Great point, Kenneth from Thailand knows hockey junior. I would love to see that. Coach, please let not talk about Larac. Yeah, I agree with you. Coach Nedam is in the house. Curtis, who is the best centre? Good problem to have. You're absolutely right about that. George also said he traded a line for PLD. Too many is hit to the head. Yes, I agree with you about that one over there. About this, Alexandre. Farrell is free to sign now. Why Habs going to put him on NHL or AHL? I feel for the Montreal Canadiens, I'm going to put him in NHL. If I was Montreal Canadiens now, I'm going to go that direction over there. And what you do, that open up spot. And this is the ick for the Montreal Canadiens. You have two players for the Montreal can return in Laval Rocket without go on the waiver. You have you have HP, Harvey Pinard, and you have Jesse Allen. You already know what you get with Allen. I think for me, Montreal Canadiens should keep Farrell right now and see what he look like a couple of games and then return. Laval right now, they battle right now. You can see they play right now. They are again losing. They cannot score. I think the last 9-10 games, they score only 2 goals per game. And they play without their best player like Anthony Richard. Anthony Richard come back now, but he's missing, Harvey Pinard, Alex Belzile, Pitlick. Belzile and Pitlick have to go on the waiver, and that's the reason they cannot send him and they cannot send them at Laval. They have to wait to the end of the season. That's the only way they can return. When it'll be the end of the season for Montreal, it'll be maybe the end of the season Laval too. So it will be interesting what happening that. But great question for Farrell. So the decision with Sean Farrell, guys, but he played with Harvard University. He was on the round 16. We call this in the playoff bracket in NCAA. And the Rocket score, Peric Dubé score, cut the lead from 3-2 now at Laval. Sean Farrell now he got eliminated by Ohio State, so now he's free to sign with the Montreal Canadiens. We expect this will happening. We know he already want to leave the NCAA. He's going to complete his school and during the summer. So expect him, like I said, a 2 years contract with the Montreal Canadiens, entry-level contract. And then we'll see if they're going to set Alexandre, like he said, Montreal or Laval Rocket. I feel they will try him at Montreal Canadiens before they get there. Farrell can only play for the Canadian this season, cannot play for Laval until next season. Yes and no, Curtis. Coach, I don't like it. Curtis, what you said that, coach? I will give you the best example, Curtis. Jaden Strubble. Jaden Strubble have the same. He is on the same shoes like Sean Farrell. So he was signed a contract entry level, and he have right now an opportunity. He have a clause and a CBA where they can bring up players, go to the Laval Rocket to get there for the rest of the season and then come back. The only thing I would say to you, Curtis, and I have to verify that if I have time, is they maybe cannot participate to the playoff. The only thing I can make it fun right there. But I believe he can return and play a couple of games with the Laval Rocket until the end of the season. Now, Eneman, it's different. Eneman, because he's from Europe and he have already a contract with the Montreal Canadiens, he can play a Laval Rocket. That's the only change about Eneman. So here we go. Alexandre asked the same question to Curtis. Right now, Suzuki is the best. I got this. Suzuki is filling the role of the captain very well. Dach will still need to show he can be consistent for John Garage. Curtis White struggle join Laval. I just explained, RG Calabro knocked the door. And welcome back, John Garage and RG Calabro. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. If you don't mind, that'd be great. That'd be awesome if you can do that. That'd be good. So that's happening with that Suzuki Dach. Can we carry on that team with number 1, number 2 for the next couple of years, or we need someone else? My next question, guys, would be the next 3-5 years. Who do you believe are going to have a better career? Is it Kirby Dach or Nick Suzuki? Do you think at some point Kirby Dach is going to be better to Nick Suzuki? That would be a great way to say that. Can the Montreal carry on a 2-player like that, and they are solid in the line, on the center line, to have a 2-player can carry on about 70 point, 80 point? If you think about that, in NHL, it's rare like the McDavid or the Matthews score 50 goals, 60 goals as a center. But if we can get a guy can score 35 goals per year, one of the two, I think that will help the Montreal Canadiens as a center, position center, and they can get at least one of them in 85 point, 80 point, 90, close to 90 point, and then the second center behind that can get about 60 point, 70 point. I think that would be a great. I don't think both of them are like a Barkov example. I don't think both of them are yet like Sebastian Aho. I think Kirby Dach could be a little bit better to Suzuki at long term because of his size. But at 6'4", it's the same situation with Barkov. Can he become that kind of players? I'm not sure. I'm not saying he is compared to Barkov, but I think Kirby Dach have some kind of potential. We already know both of them, the floor. I think the ceiling of Dach, we don't know yet. The Suzuki, I still believe Suzuki, that's what you get with him. He's going to be at 25 goals per year. Nick Suzuki is going to give you about 75 points per year. That's what I feel is going to be Nick Suzuki at his prime at 26, 27 years old. I still believe Kirby Dach have more. I think his ceiling as Kirby Dach have to get a little bit the next notch compared to Nick Suzuki. I think Kirby Dach could become that kind of player, the 80-point back-to-back season. In my opinion, Colorado take the lead 1-0. McKinnon score is 31 goal of the year. If you look about Nathan McKinnon, guys, Nathan McKinnon never scored 50 goals in his show. 40 goals. He's really the guy score about 30, 35 goals, and he get about 75 points per year. But look what McKinnon bring on the table, right? And that's what you need, those kind of combination with another center behind. And right now, the Colorado don't have that kind of center. So that would be something you have to look about that. Willie Snyder is in the house. Thanks so much to be with the Hockey Nation Live show. Kenneth got with the Dach. Is Suzuki considered to play with the Caulfield? I think it would get a little more point. I agree with you. Suzuki is a career of 61 points per season so far in NHL. That's what he bring with the Montreal Canadiens. And if you think about a little bit more point, no doubt in my mind, if he stay with Caulfield, play on the power play unit number one, it would be a guy can score about 70 to 75 points. It could maybe one to get 80 points. Now, the TOI of Suzuki, guys, is about 22 minutes per game. And for the first time, it could be that I have to play over 24 minutes yesterday. And that would be interesting to follow the time of the TOI, both of them. It's Mini, Crosby, and Malkin for Suzuki Dach. Yeah, that's it. You know, I was thinking about the duo back and forth. I think that's the kind of plus. Right now, we know Malkin is a little bit, you know, both of them are better to Suzuki. But talk about the impact they make on the team. That's what they are. Dach is Suzuki. I agree with you about that. Mac attack for the first goal. Willie, thank you so much. Steve G knocked the door. Thanks about you, but fair enough. But struggled agree not to burn the first year of his LC to go to Laval. Farrell could get to the Harvard. Farrell could go back to Harvard, but he's not going to get to Harvard because he's going to complete his school. For what we heard. The secondly, I would say to you, is he can play at Laval he can play with Montreal Canadiens a couple of games before he burned his ALC with the Montreal Canadiens. So that would be the one maybe to consider that to get one of that. It's the same situation happening with Cole Caulfield when he came with Montreal Canadiens. He burned his year, Cole Caulfield, because he played over 10 games by the time he carried on this on the playoff, by the way. So that's happening about him because right as result is in Ken Hans. Alexandre save he hit 1 million member of one of the most Facebook group today. Sean, I think they are two different players. It would be depends on what the style that Martin St. Louis maybe said they were playing. Dach is a pressure driver. SK is a playmaker. Road Dach can feed cold. He control the zone. But that's what I explained on my video. My result on my result or my at the end, I would say both are similar. Both are going to be that kind of positivity on offensive, but both played friendly on the ice. You can see exactly what Sean said, right? One play more than make the playmaker, and the one is a driver. So Kirby Dach, in my opinion, because he's a big guy, the way he plays is thick. He's really unique in NHL. Not many players does what Kirby Dach does. You think Kirby Dach cannot win the battle? Not because he's physical, it's because he uses his stick properly. His back checking, guys, he have a 6'4". How many times he put his stick on the other stick, right? What about his transition between both blue line? That's what Kirby Dach is good. You said Suzuki is pretty good, yet I believe Dach have another level about that one there. I think Kirby Dach opened more the space on the ice by the way he control the puck, he protect the puck versus Suzuki. Now, Suzuki have, for me, a little bit better vision. He have an amazing, great pass. He passed the puck very well. And both of them are really good stick angling. Both of them struggle on the face-off. More Dach at that moment. Suzuki had never been over 50% on the face-off. Both of them struggle on the defensive zone coverage, opponent players. Now I have to be careful about that. Dach is a better pass checker. Dach is better on the defensive zone coverage. But Suzuki is good on intercept the puck retrieval on defensive zone coverage, but he struggled, Suzuki, on the back checking and on defensive zone to cover his man-to-man example or follow. But Dach a little bit better on that area. But again, one is 22 years old and one is just turned 22 and the one is 24. That will be the fun about that. But yeah, great comments about the driver and the playmaker. I'm not sure a long term if Suzuki will be the answer for Cole Caulfield or Cole Caulfield could be with Kirby Dach. That's the only thing. To play with Cole Caulfield, guys, you need a guy pick up the puck. You cannot have anybody, guys, if you don't have someone can pick up the puck. Cole Caulfield is not going to retrieve the puck. I think it'll be a little bit more, in the long term, I'm thinking about, is Kirby Dach is going to be the one can feed more Cole Caulfield, on my own opinion. On the flip side, Sarkowski and Nick Suzuki, but you have the reverse, the side, right? You have a bigger winger and you have a smaller center. And I think for me, that would be a good duo together too. Again, we don't take the time we tell us. We just project what we thinking right now. I'm not saying I'm God and I'm going to feel I'm right about that. I've just give you another perspective of what we're thinking. We have over time now at the Blue Jacket, guys, and we have almost 15 seconds to go. The Sabres is going to beat the Devils, guys, tonight. Will be interesting if I can get the game between the Devils and the Blue Jacket and the Islanders. Larry Lavallee knocked the door. I will let you decide, coach, who is better. You know that when you see it. Larry, thanks for your comments. Dach make it look like either one he play. Gary Connery mentioned about that one over there. Dach would play with better for Gary Cournoyer. Monsieur Chongan, de retour avec nous ce soir. Monsieur Chongan, welcome aboard. Merci d'être avec nous. Kenneth, would you consider putting Suzuki on the wing if they trade for Pierre-Luc Dubois? No. No, Kenneth. That's a great question, thinking that way. I think for me, Nick Suzuki is not that type of player, can play winger. I think Dach could become that players on my eyes more as a winger compared to Nick Suzuki. Suzuki is really the one play really as a winger. As a center, Kenneth, in my opinion. Nicholas, welcome aboard. Nicholas, Dach is fun and creative with a bit to him. Great and ending you along the board and is on his own zone. Excited to watch it. You're absolutely right about that. There's a great comment, Nicholas, about Dach. I think Dach, in my opinion, is going to be more complete versus Nick Suzuki. I think Dach, because the way he play, the way he can protect the puck, the way he can hit that way too. I think that would be the kind of the situation could happen. Right now, guys, we're watching the Columbus Blue Jackets New York Islanders live. I'm behind you because my streaming is slow. And Columbus are right now on the power play, and they are figure out. And Blue Jacket win the game, guys, tonight, 5-4, and the game is over. And tip in front of the net. And the Blue Jacket beat the New York Islanders. They got 1 point only for Islanders. That's better than nothing, but that's not what they would like to get. And Zorokin, he was between the pipe tonight, by the way, Mr. Enartap. We apologize for that bad information we got at the beginning. Now we're going to get the team that's leaving. We're going to get on the review. But look like Islanders don't go nowhere. But look like now they get on the bench. And this game is over. And we have a good goal. And the Blue Jacket beat the New York Islanders by the score of 5-4. And again, the Blue Jacket, people thinking they're all tanking. And nobody tank here. They try to get the point they can't get. And here we go. Game is over. Willis, Cole, if you have a list of the elite app players of the history, is Subban on the list? It depends how many lists you're talking about, right? You can have the Coyotes guy tie the game 1-1. Willie. Piquet Subban, because the franchise of the player as a defenseman is so big in the Montreal Canadiens, I don't think Piquet Subban will be a part of the elite, obviously. You have Guy Lapointe, Serge Savard, Larry Robinson, Doug Harvey, Jean-Claude Tremblay, Jacques Laperrière, Markov. I think Shea Weber for me is before him, and I can go all the way like that. And the history and the Montreal Canadiens, Piquet Subban, I'm not sure he's a top 10 defenseman, but a great question, by the way, Willie, to ask that. Buffalo win 5-4 for William. Buffalo and the Blue Jacket won both games at 5-4. RJ, thanks so much for the update. You are the expert, a coach, a kid talent, and that's why I listen to you. I'm not just a fan of the lot of old talent from the years past. No problem, Larry. We appreciate a lot. Any question, anything you want to talk about, open up anytime. Could be Willie, could be, but I think next year is the year. The Buffalo Dark Horse about that. If you talk about the Buffalo Sabres, guy, we can open the door a little bit quick here. The Buffalo Sabres need to have two areas they need to get better. A goaltender, and then after that, they need to add defensemen with physicality inside this organization. Without this, I think they're missing a couple of pieces of puzzle. Now, one thing to be happy about that for Buffalo when they get out, you have a Thompson have already 44 goals, I believe. You have Alex Stock with 32 goals. You have Dylan Carlson, 28 goals. That's what you get, right? Yeah, Jeff Skinner is about 30 goals, 25 goals. And you have a lot of players like Jack Quinn, 14 goal rookie. Owen Power, Remus Dallin can bring some kind of game he did all year long. But Goaltender is what we're looking for. Luukkonen looking good, but we like to have a better backup or maybe another number one goalie. Now, everybody is thinking Devon Levi could start his career initial against Montreal Canadiens next Monday. Will be interesting to see that. They have some kind of problem with the visa paperwork right now. But that would be Buffalo again. Another team are looking great with Peter Krebs, and I can go Casey, Millerstad. The team is have a lot of great prospects inside of this organization, by the way. And we don't talk about Olofsson and the rest. Jordan Dumas record 136 points. Sifez is amazing. It's close to be the best position for Halifax. Am I right? But you're absolutely right, Alexandre. Jordan Dumas, I think, is a 98 overall pick on that area. Montreal skip on him, did not draft him. Now, for me, when you make all those points and QM, Riley Kidney over 100 points, Joshua Roy, everything like that, Jordan Thomas, Dumas, right? I can able, all three of them, carry on this to the next level. They can put those number and to deal with the speed of the game, the pace of the game, and they can become that kind of player. This is what I'm a little bit concerned. We see many players, the Frère Lebeau, Lefebvre, and I can go so many players make an amazing, great career in the QM, but unfortunately, they never carry on this in NHL. Because the proximity they did, it was amazing, but when they go to NHL, they did not get that one over there. And that will be my biggest concern about Jordan versus what he can do in NHL versus what he did, we accomplished this year with Halifax. But again, the time will tell us. Same thing with Riley Kidney. We'll see if he can do this with the Montreal Canadiens. Joshua, I feel like he's maybe one of the three players I'm talking about, the most complete on the three zone. He played a better game at 200 feet. He showed it with Team Canada. That's the reason he was selected versus Riley Kidney and Jordan Dumas. But again, they are great hockey players. Can they do this in NHL? This is the best question about that one there. Larry Love, the All-Star William McClary. The triple W is in the house. Salut mon homme. Coach Sean said, I heard Arizona is going to trade their good young. You talk about Clinton Keller. I don't know why they would do that. At least they got something big in return. Now, I'm thinking that way, Mr. Sean. Arizona right now, they are what? Select 6, right? And what they trade, I don't know. How they can knock the door to Columbus. So Columbus don't get, example, I'm talking not Fantilli and Berard, but talk about number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. Well, not before that. Number 3, number 4, number 5. Everything between Arizona and 2, right? Those 3-4 teams I'm talking about are willing to trade their pick to get Clayton Keller in return and to skip Mitch Cobb, Willie Smith, or Leo Carlson, example. I don't know. That's the only thing I can see the Arizona make a trade for that area. But I could be wrong here. This is a great point. It's great information there. See that the coach who was the last elite player from the Habs who is not named Patrick Roy. You have to go with Carey Price, Willie Snyder. You think about a guy carrying on that team. I would say to you, Andrei Markov, if he was healthy, play every year with good health, I think it will be another super elite for the Montreal Canadiens. Can we consider Sako Koivu on that level? I'm not sure about that because you know what I mean. You know, think about Sako Koivu. Can he become? Is it compared to Nick Suzuki? Can Nick Suzuki can be that Sako Koivu for the Montreal Canadiens? I put this like a couple of weeks ago. I compared both of them, but I'm not sure. It could happen this way. Colorado is 1-1 with Arizona. Rocket lose. Rocket lost today. Then we have, I agree for your prospect opinion about the Q, but we can't say that to everyone and every league. But so far, so good. It's like Hudson. We don't know, but we wish. Yeah. The only thing I would say to you is a little bit more difficult. Alexandre and the OHL and the WHL versus, like, I will give you an example. Connor Bedard, guys, 70 goals, almost 70 goals. By the way, is on TSN tonight. 70 goals in NHL. Bedard and the WHL. It can project the positivity on the QM is a bit more higher versus the two other league, Alexandre. But again, we don't know how they could carry on this on the next level, right? So I agree with you on that point. It's just easier. Not the system, the way they play in the QM versus the OHL and the WHL. The WHL guy is more tight. It's more physical. They have less player score. We have super chat number 1. Super chat triple W. Super chat, Mr. Triple W. Thanks so much. Very kind of you to do that to the Hockey Nation Live Show for your support of the channel to stay alive. Thanks so much about that one. Some hype right there. Wesh, hype. Good evening, and after for Dan. Jambon, de retour avec nous ce soir. Jambon et patate. Jambon et patate. Ça me donne la faim, ça, pour l'instant. I know they are not really comparable. Each sweet for its front opposition. I don't know which one you're talking about, Jambon. They are not really comparable. Each are sweet for its front. Not a bad comparison between Suzuki and Koivu, talent-wise. Its front type, the player thought. Yeah, but size-wise, number of the goal per year, number of the point he did per year, that's pretty much similar about that, for my opinion. But yes, Nicholas, you know what I mean? Like, you're not out about that for sure. Cash. Good man, William said. Thanks so much for that one. A2Z, did you see Ken Johnson goal tonight? Absolute beauty. Yeah, he did another Michigan. If I had a chance to see that, it was again tonight. He did it over the right shoulder. Good evening, Mr. Ron with Kings. Thanks so much. And A2Z. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. If you don't mind, that'd be awesome. I would be appreciated. You can do that. That'll be the way to start the weekend. So that's happened with Suzuki and Dach. I think we did very good. The Montreal Canadiens have some news to talk about the Farrell contract. So we'll be interesting. Sean Farrell got eliminated today. Harvard got eliminated today, so he's available to sign his entry-level contract. Montreal is going to definitely look for him. It could happen the next 24 hours, 48 hours. Montreal play tomorrow. I'm sure he cannot be there, but possible after that. Monday, they play back-to-back game, Montreal. This week at Buffalo Monday and the Flyers next Tuesday. So that will be something where to follow up with the development of Sean Farrell. Then with Dach or Suzuki, question will depend who can stay healthy. About that. We have Enemans Trouble play in Laval tonight. They play the last, by the way. Jason Trouble plays his first game as a professional hockey player, and Emil Eneman played his second game. So his first game with Laval score Wednesday night, but it looked like Laval did not win tonight again. Obviously for them. Thanks so much for all the likes. what we got so far. Willie Snyder, what about Price make him in elite? I'm not trying to downplay his great performance, but what won a couple cup, and that's hard to measure for greatness. I don't compare Patrick Roy versus Carey Price. Willie, we question, I think it was, is which player for the Montreal Canadiens was an elite, and I think that's what he considers this. I don't think so. You consider an elite player because did not win a Stanley Cup. Now, if you compare Patrick Roy, Carey Price, that's fun. That's the fun things we can talk about. But talking about Carey Price, is an elite, yes. He's a franchise player, yes. Carry on Montreal Canadiens for years, yes. He won the Hart, he won the Vizina trophy, and he accomplished many years. He was the top best goaltender around in the world for 2-3 years and around the world. So he's been, that's why we qualify a super elite, in my opinion, is an elite franchise players. That's why I consider him Carey Price. Now, if you go compare with Patrick Roy, Martin Brodeur, Dominic Hasek, everything like that, that's another conversation. But I thought your question about elite, yes, he is. Yes, for sure, getting production is easier and cute, but we can compare the average point per game about the player, and he's good. Again, Alexandre, I'm not diminish the players that play in the QM. What I try to explain is how the player can carry on this from the QM to play in NHL. That's the only thing I would say to you, versus now the number, the point QM versus OHL, WHL is always been that. Always been that. Now, you have player select 4th round, 5th round in NHL. It's called them a home run, and they make a good players in NHL. Brian Gallagher is one of them. Ken Jordan, Zumet become that kind of players. Very possible. Yannick Gourde, we can mention many players, right? It's just the time we tell us. But the fact he did already 136 point, guys, is amazing. I'm not trying to diminish his performance at all. My only thing I would say, can they carry on this to NHL like Riley Kidney and many others, William, Alexandre? I know you understand. It's like a score be better than the average. No, you're absolutely about this. Marcel Dion was not elite from A to Z. Marcel Dion was an exceptional player in the NHL. If you follow, I have an opportunity watching Marcel Dion. I'm older here. So Marcel Dion was an amazing, great hockey player. What a great career he has in NHL. He still live and Niagara Falls area. You have a restaurant. You have a chance to get there. I've been there. He's always in the restaurant, talk with people, serve the people. What a great man, a great heart he was, Marcel Dion. Really a small player, by the way. But yeah, 1,800 points, I believe, or maybe not. Marcel Dion, one of the best in NHL. In my opinion. Different team for both goalies. Goalies don't play in the vacuum. The team in front of them account for a lot of their success also. Mr. Stu Pilasso is in the house. Stu Pilasso. Thanks, Code, for clarifying that. I think we could make an elite player vote. That would be fun. Yeah, you can go that way. You can play like, underrated players. You can go many ways. Those kind of situations we do, guys. I know some people follow the channel for a couple of months now. We did a lot those side, the night, during the week, during the summertime when the hockey is a little bit off. We just talk, not only about the Montreal game, we talk about in general. We can talk maybe in one night what kind of role you want to change. What are all the top 20 most underrated in NHL? And we can change this. We have a lot of different subjects, and we can go like this all summer if we want to. But that's where we can go that for sure. So, Sue, thanks so much. So, Anderson out for the rest of the season. We know it was announced by the Montreal Canadiens yesterday. We mentioned this at the Hockey Nation Live show. So, unfortunately for him, he finished his season 69 game, 32 points, 21 goals, 11 assists, the same number of the game and the number of the point they did the year before. Big question to you guys. Let's go. We're almost done. It's about 10 o'clock. I don't want to hang in here for 2 hours tonight. I would prefer to wait Sunday night with Mr. Nartab to talk more about different subject about Montreal Canadiens. But I would like to have this question for you guys. What do you do with Josh Anderson now? Do you feel the Montreal should trade him? Do you think he got some kind of value increasing his value stock market right now because what he did for the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks with Montreal? Do you feel it would be the good time for Montreal to make a big splash during summer, trade Josh Anderson for something, I don't know the return right now, but do you think it's the time he can run at $5.5 million? You take that money for Josh Anderson at $5.5 million, and you give them like we talk about Pierre-Luc Dubois. It could be, I don't know, another player can score an easily 30 goal, 35 goal, and you can add the 5.5 to another $4 million to get a $9 million plus. I don't have the name right now. I don't want to tell you this player, and that's what I want to mention. But do you feel it's a time right now maybe to let go Josh Anderson to get something in return, a first round pick, maybe a super elite player, a top prospect, or a player like Kirby Dach last year? Montreal take a chance with Kirby Dach. They trade Romanov. They was pretty much sure what they are thinking. Can somewhere come how to get those kind of players? Josh Anderson does not fit everywhere. That's the first thing about that. But he fit with a contender playoff team, I think. Look about what Mason Marshman got last year at $4 million. I think Josh Anderson is a bit better to Mason Marshman, in my opinion. Can fight more physical, forward checker. And you can see he developed his other ways now. He's not a north-south player anymore. So do you think he should, Montreal, open up more to get that player? Thanks so much for the likes that we got. I said that right away. I think we have a talented winger now, an upcoming prospect to support Suzuki at Dach. That's a great point, Gary, about that. I think we're getting there. That's what I feel like, Sunday night we maybe talk about. We're going to select our initial draft already Sunday night. And the question will be who Montreal select number 5th pick. But great point about that, Gary. I will not trade Anderson unless the return is crazy. High first round pick, a top prospect, a young player. Obviously, A2, you're not going to get this in return. So why not, coach? Come on, coach. Why are you against me? I'm not against you. What I tried to explain to you, A2, is Anderson, at the view of many people, is not considered that way for other teams. Anderson, because he carried on at $5.5 million, and he's still 4 years to go, maybe 3 now, and he scored only 20 goals per year. And he got only 30 points per season, 35 max. That's why you don't get a top 8 prospect, you don't get a first-round pick prospect return, and you don't get another player. It will be far away to get that from him. Not going to happen. Not going to happen for that. Now, can he get a late first-round pick? Can he get a good prospect in return? Or do you Montreal targeting a prospect already in NHL? Look about Beauvillier right now. Beauvillier was stuck in the New York Islanders system. When he get out of the system, he played with Vancouver. He played out top 6, played with Peterson, MEILLEUR, and everybody else there. Look, the number of the point he did is about like 18 points, 21 games. So that's the Montreal Canadiens need to figure out. Which players at 21, 22, 23, 24 struggle with a specific team and they can get out of that team and performing with the Montreal Canadiens? How they can develop him? Which team? That's what we need to figure out that team. I don't know. I don't have no, that's just some search I will have to get there. I got maybe a player with Anaheim, maybe not Anaheim, but a player maybe. People talk a lot about Maxime Comtois, but I'm not sure Maxime Comtois will be the kind of player that Montreal is looking for. But that's the time, the team you can look about different team, and you can get that time the transaction with Josh Anderson. But we'll see. Twin Sniper is in the house. Welcome aboard, Twin. That is really good. Can we get a Calgary first round pick this year? Can we get, not really the one we got last season, and then you have the next one in 2024. You can get that one, Twin. So you cannot get that one in 2023, Twin. The conscience 24. If it's not, yeah. And again, it's involved the Florida Panthers, by the way. And that's bring now to Montreal to 24. They could go to 25th. I don't want to go too deep on the conditional, but definitely they cannot return on the 24. On the 23rd. I agree with you, Gary. Keep him. Josh suffered a high ankle sprain. This is not a simple recovery. This will him to limit him to trade. Um, because the season is over, John, right? And he's going to give him like 1 month, 2 month example, right? He's going to be fine in July and in August. He's going to be we come back 100%, John. So I don't think so. The injury make him a low value. It just depends what Montreal or try to accomplish with him to get in return. I believe Josh Anderson should be with my more established team. He struggled and played a few times this year. Frustration, I believe, William. A great point. So Josh Anderson, guys, like that's what I said. Never, always remember, guys, not only remember the good things, always remember everything. Not only the bad things, everything. So, coach, what you talk about? But because we are fans, sports fans, because we love our team, we get excited. Look RHP, look Belzile, look Josh Anderson, and now we're getting there. Oh, now we're going to that. Look Belzile, you should stay with Montreal next season. The time talk by itself. Everybody's excited about Montembeault. And you know what? We have to give credit for Montembeault. I'm not trying to put Montembeault down here. But I need to see more from Montembeault to get that kind of security backup number 2A or goaltender number 1B, whatever you want to give him a title. But that's the point with Josh Anderson. He gave it to us because he took advantage of the time. He played top 6. He played on PK. He played on PP. He got 18 minutes per game. Can he carry on this at the consistency at the full year? That's the point here. And for Montreal Canadiens, where they at right now, Josh Anderson is going to be passed in the next 3 years. You're going to have better players and the ad prospect club. And I don't want, Farrell, Mézard, Roy. I can go like that, right? They can pass at some point Josh Anderson. So Josh Anderson in the next 2-3 years is maybe not be a part of the plan. And the money you can get right now for Josh Anderson and the value he is right now are going to be better and better right now at what he's going to be in the future. Because is limited. And I understand what he accomplished so far. But I don't see a Josh Anderson to get a top 6 with the Montreal Canadiens on the basic all the time. Now, it's $5.5 million, right? And I don't know what the plan for the Montreal with Josh Anderson. I think for me, Montreal get a prospect in return and a second round pick in return. Bingo. Do it. Do it. Do it. You can get a first round pick, you get a prospect in return, do it. Because it open up more opportunity for other things. First, for your winger you're looking for, Sakoski could get that pick. Sakoski is at a second line, a third line, I'm not sure. But that's for me, I think you trade a player at the right time. That was the biggest problem with Marc Bergevin. Bergevin waited too many times. He was scared to make a trade. Marc Bergevin said, everybody, you cannot trade for a center in NHL. It was his biggest excuse. He cannot trade. How many centers they trade every year as a center? You can't. It's just you have to pay the price in return. And Montreal, with time, guys, are going to get more players to trade. The asset is increasing. At some point, they cannot keep everybody. So we'll be interested what will be the next move for that. Go Habs, go Jake. John Suffer, go, got it. I believe Josh Anderson should be one with a more established team. I got it, that one too. Late first round pick, the same as the 4th or the 5th round. About that. Do you think the Habs should get a goaltender in the draft or free agency, or do you think a Montembeault can be number 1? Really, I think they are 1 year at least to get a goaltender number 1. I think because the improvement of development Montembeault, they can holding this with Jake Allen for 1 more year and then select a player, a goaltender during the NHL draft this year. Then they could maybe sign Tobes. It'll be interesting, or Dichaud, or Verbetzik. But honestly, they have to draft one this year. Second round, third round, I'm not sure they will open up the door at the second round pick. So they finish fifth. They're going to be 33, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 37, 38. Are they going to start getting another forward or defenseman before a goalies? At that moment, at that time, you're going to have about 3 goalies open up at least. You can get a Herbel. You can get a Gajan if it's available. You can get Oscarson if they want to. But at 37, guys, you have a lot of great hockey players at that pick for many others. Charlie Stramel could be that kind of players. For Montreal could hit a home run at 37. Charlie Stramel, year ago, guy, was a top 15, top 10 in NHL draft. He's now, many put him out of the first round, Charlie Stramel. Can they hit a home run like they did with Lane Hudson? Big body, big winger, 6'3", play with Wisconsin Badger. They know the relationship between the Montreal, the Wisconsin, are we close. Cole Caulfield came from Wisconsin. Granado knows him very well, Stramel. But he struggled this year. Stramel should play one more year, maybe junior last year, this season. But I think could be another good pick. I don't know what Montreal going to targeting, 37. Back to Willie. Yes, they have to select one in this draft. When? I'm not sure. And Rabinoff, thank God, are out soon. All the players will have a lot of time to recover one of the pick of the season. I agree with you. And Rabinoff about this. I like Anderson, but let's be honest, he is not a Chris Kreider. If you are lucky to get a first top pick, 10 draft pick, consider yourself lucky. I agree with you about this. I think for me, it would not be a top 10. I think he can get around top 20 would be better. But you're absolutely right about this in our tap. I will not holding him too much. MLS, like Anderson, he use him on the power play PK. Don't just look at goal total. He bring more at that carry. Yes, but on the flip side, he is not a he is not a PK players, in my opinion. He used PK right now because you have nobody there. But otherwise, he is not a PK, in my opinion. You have to be alert. You have to be aware. You have to be skate better. He's a north-south Josh Anderson. Look his transition. Look his movement from left to right. Look his cross over skating. It's not there, Josh Anderson. So to move from the one side to another side, Anderson struggled a bit. I think for me, Montreal, you know what I mean? Like when Amir is back, Devarek is back. Now RHP playing the Montreal Canadiens. Jake Haven play on the PK. You have Nick Suzuki play on the PK. That's give you 5-6 players right now in front of Josh Anderson. So, in my opinion, I don't think it will happen for me, Gary. I'm not saying you're not wrong. I just said I don't see Josh Anderson a PK guy. They try to give him more tools to become a better hockey player. I know that. They work hard with him and they try to make him better player. But again, 5.5 million at 30 points per year, 35 and only 20 goals. That's a little bit too much for me, in my opinion, at that moment with the Montreal Canadiens. That will get a little bit more. Thanks so much for all the live we got so far, guys. I appreciate it. Why is everyone so interested at trading Anderson? I think he is one of the better veteran on this team. So here's the point behind that. Yes, he's a good leader. Yes, he's pretty good. He talk everything like that. Yes, I agree with you. That's something he can get. But now, if you get Josh Anderson, I will give you an example. That remove your young players like Sakoski to develop. So what do you do with Anderson? Put him on the third line? You're going to go back against Josh Anderson like he was before. Do you develop Sakoski never on the top 6? Or no, you have other players you can pick out there. But what do you do with Owen Beck? What do you do with Sean Farrell? What do you do with Emil Henneman? What do you do with Jesse Allen? Is it those players I mentioned to you are the future Montreal Canadiens or Josh Anderson? One of Montreal Canadiens will be good in 4 years. Year number 4. He's going to be 32 years old, 33 years old. Is it the guy you want to have those years and carry on with the Montreal Canadiens? This is the biggest question. I don't say they have to trade Josh Anderson. But I think if you want to open up more, because Josh Anderson never scored 30 goals, 35 goals on the basic year after year. For you already carry on a contract at 6.5 with Gallagher. What do you put him? Gallagher. You cannot put him out. You have to put in the team. So at some point, every dollar you make, right? Armia, Hoffman, two money right there, a 4.5, a 3.4, you get right now. With Gallagher, it's about $30 million. Montreal have nothing with that. Do you get in return? Right? Now, Hoffman's leaving 1 year. Armia's leaving in 2 years. And Gallagher in 4 years. But during the time, you have Anderson between that. You have a spot for Anderson top 6. Are you willing to put him top 6? Or are you willing to put him bottom 6? That will be those questions Montreal can answer to you. Do you believe Josh Anderson can score 30 goals and get 50 points per year? Or not? Like you said in our tap, Chris Greider. That's the one right there. Right? But I don't think Greider, Josh Anderson will become a Greider in NHL. I don't think so. Anderson is the player a team like the league really need. Bottom 6 guy, he can do everything. He has a main street race will sign the player. Some jump, we pay for it. Obviously, can use the phone ring all the time, but nothing happens during the trade deadline. I'm not sure if Montreal want to trade him or the return was not there. But it would be interesting how he's going to look like. Doing well. Good luck to the Bruins for that. Ken Hughes said, I like the trade for other prospect. Do you see William Dufour can be that kind of trade at 21? He got stat at 21, 26, and 8 shot. And what can be the price? I'm not sure they will go that direction. Montreal don't do a lot of, like Ken Hughes did not do it. Ken Hughes like to use player already established in NHL. So what you point? So like Kirby Dach was 2 years, 3 years in NHL already, and they look about him. So you have to figure out Alexandre, a player more established in NHL, struggle. Like Bouvillier was a good case. We talked about this a bit earlier. And I will have to go a little bit more deep inside its front team to see, you know what, that player could be. Look about Pavel Zacha for the New Jersey Devils. He was not very happy with New Jersey Devils, and he got traded with the Boston Bruins. Look how he looked like with the Boston Bruins now. A big winger. He was a center. Move him as a winger now. He's a big 6'3". And they covered them, Boston, to get that. That's what Boston become better. They make some kind of trade to impressive them to stay in the race every year. Can Montreal try to figure out a player like that in NHL? I'm not sure. But that would be something like that Montreal can get at 23 years old, 24 years old, 25 years old. What would be the cost to get Clinton Keller for the Arizona Coyotes in return? I don't know. Is it too early for Montreal to pick up a player like Type, the kind of player right now? Is it 1 year too early? Can we wait a year after that? Not sure. All the comment I mentioned to you is like, to see. If the add trade Anderson for the draft pick, they would have, in a sense, last 2-3 pick and the action for the Waraka and more pick than just Prudhomme. If they trade and for the draft pick, they will have, in a sense, last 2 third overall pick and action for the Waraka and more pick. They trade Anderson for Max Domi A2. So I'm not sure what you try to talk about this. I'm not sure. I would like to hear more clarification about that. What 3 hockey players do you see helping the Habs win the cup? I don't know. Are you talking about NHL player? Are you talking about the draft NHL 2023? Are you talking about players around the other team? It's like you project player but never maybe play with Montreal Canadiens. Now, if you talk about the player already with the Montreal Canadiens to win the Stanley Cup, they have to be shown Cole Caulfield. That's the one there, right? I would say to you, they need to be sure another player like Lane Hudson, or a quarterback number 1 defenseman can help in the Montreal Canadiens on the special team. Their special team struggle, and they need to be sure they have a really good Mike Madison, but it's not good enough maybe. So Lane Hudson could be that kind of player. So I would say to you, that will be a secondly. The thirdly, they don't have it. I think a goaltender. If you don't have a good goaltender, it's not going to happening. So three three players now. Cole Caulfield already have it. I think the development Lane Allison could be that kind of, you need a quarterback to carry on that team. You have, can he become a super elite? I'm not sure. But he has everything to become that one. And secondly, they don't have the goaltender right now. That would be a one. So that would be my three suggestions. I can go a little bit more deeper if I have more time, but a great question if you go that direction. I said main 10 Anderson is highly undervalued by the Fox in here. I don't think we qualify him, but are you happy to have Josh Anderson with 20 goals per year? Are you happy to have Josh Anderson with 30 points per year? What he does friendly is a forechecker. He can brush there. But do you see Josh Anderson? What kind of Josh Anderson do you like? The Josh Anderson unhappy from October to January? Or do you like an happy Josh Anderson from February, March with the Montreal Canadiens? Because that's what you got this year. You have two kind of players with Josh Anderson. You want to play at the bottom six. He was unhappy. Did not have a minute on the power play. And then after that, you have the transformation Josh Anderson. Now, at $5.5 million, are you okay to pay him because he bring other things around the team? I'm not sure. Can you have those kind of players at 5.5 and more on the table? I'm not sure about that. But unicorn, at some point, yes, but he's not like Tom Wilson, right? Tom Wilson is very specific. You have another name someone mentioned to me, so that would be the way you can keep him. But again, the question is like if there's a part of the future and the plan for the Montreal Canadiens. I've been an Habs fan for 45 years, Sean, but really this way the team has been made from the top down is the most excited. I've been not only a great team coming together, but we'll set for 15 years. You're really 15 years would be great, by the way. But yes, they really go from one brick at a time. They really build the foundation properly right away, I think. With what's going on, with the draft, with the trade, with the hire people, from every level, and they really hit all the time. So you should be excited about that. I think they're looking good, but again, it's very hard to win. It's more about the fact maybe not win the Stanley Cup, but it become a better contender hockey team. They're doing this right away. Gallagher or Anderson? But you start with Gallagher, right? Gallagher cannot be traded for nothing. Gallagher, that would cost you a lot if you trade him. That's the problem you get. That's a $6.5 million you die on your pocket with Hoffman at 4.5 and a 3.4 with Armia, Gary. Every team have one bad contract. Usually, Vancouver have OEL. For the Vancouver have that one there. The San Jose Sharks, how many of them they have, right? They trade Brent Burns about that. We can go like this for almost every year, every team. Curtis, I don't undervalue Anderson. He would be not best at trade a chip this summer for where the Habs want to become the official. That's a really good comments about that. I don't think so. We undervalue him. I don't think so. We want him out. I just feel like if you have something to trade as maybe the right one, it could be the good asset and return, like Curtis said. Owen Beck would need at least a year at Laval. It depends, and Rabinoff, the roster for the Montreal Canadiens, first of all. Secondly, if you don't make the Montreal, you return again in the OHL next year. He's going to play for Peterborough Petes. So that will be another year for him over there. I think it's maybe, in my opinion, with Sean Farrell, the most smartest hockey player in the Montreal Habs prospect. He's better to Hudson, better to Mailloux, better to Joshua Roy, Owen Beck, anticipate, read, understand. He make not many mistakes. Probably is smartest who he is on the ice. Um, he does constantly the right play, everything like that. Now to put him right away there, I'm not sure because Montreal have a lot of contract right there. They have a lot of players right there. Like they cannot open up many spots, and they have players pick it up. So maybe they will say, let's see one more year and the OHL, and during that time we can hang in with Jake Evans and everybody else, Christian Dvorak. Dawson Gamer 2010 is in the house. Nicolas de Bono, welcome back. Back for the Phoenix. Tell us a bit more information what happening with Sherbrooke Phoenix tonight. Nicolas, what looked like Joshua Roy. Jimmy Beam is in the house. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody. Don't forget to click on likes. I think either Dvorak or Jake Allen, maybe Jake Evans, would be traded to bring back in. So, if you put the puzzle, the piece of the puzzle, you have Suzuki, Dach, Dvorak, Jake Evans right there, right? They are the number 4 right there. Jonathan Drouin will be out at that moment. And they have Sean Monahan. I think Monahan could be out too. So that's the 4 line you have right there. And that depends. You can move the piece over there. I think Dvorak have another year with Montreal Canadiens. I think it would be too much to get Owen Beck right away there. But again, everything could happen. It's a the chance they get something good in return for Christian Dvorak, and they move on, and they gave the TOI most of the time to Dach and Suzuki. They feel comfortable. I would say yes. But Jake Evans, number 3, guys, it's not a lot. That's really risky. I would set one more year with Christian Dvorak to feel, to keep the foundation solid. I think a Christian Dvorak at 4.5 does not hurt the salary cap of Montreal Canadiens at this moment. You want to be sure your third line is still good line. Because now you get a guy, Jake Evans, a third line does not work, in my opinion. Jake Evans is a 4 line in the NHL. He accomplished a lot on the PK like Christian Dvorak, and Suzuki and Dach are not solid on the face-off. You remove a Dvorak at 53% percentage of face-off. You have only Jake Evans. That's not good enough in my opinion. So for me, I would say to you, Jimmy, I like the idea. I will not trade yet Dvorak until they figure out something else. What to go tonight? He consistent performing. Thanks so much to share with us. Trade for what exactly and why? For that, Mr. Pierre Martin is in the house. We met Endel. Al was not there. Anderson and our guy. Anderson is solid enough to not be a push around. Of course, Montreal don't have nobody to respond very well, right? But we talk about Bergeron and Marchand. We talk about small player hit the Montreal Canadiens, right? We don't do anything after that, right? Nobody push around happening there. They are not the team. Like, I understand what you try to tell me about this Jekai and Anderson, but it's not like the big players step up for Boston Bruins. It was Bergeron got hit by Pitlick, and then Bergeron hit Gallagher, and everything stopped from there. And then you have cross-checking in the face of Greer against Hoffman. Unfortunately, yes, yeah, you don't have those kind of players like you usually have in the. But I don't know that we have that. I don't think that would change the way Boston play against Montreal Canadiens. I don't see that. That will maybe create more chaos at the end, but I didn't see anybody in Montreal step up. But I agree with you. To have Anderson, Jekai not in the lineup, that changed a little bit Montreal Canadiens. But I don't. My point is, I don't see Boston change the way they play versus Montreal Canadiens with them or not. They continue to attack. They continue to get the way who they are. We have half of the game between Colorado and Arizona is 1-1 over there. But bien, great point, Pierre. Welcome back. You turned me on with Keller. Wow. Would be crazy if we can get a player like him. Yeah, that would cost you something in return. I'm not know what kind of player they can get in return. Really, the Arizona were looking for something major, a first round pick. I don't think so. Montreal would trade the fifth pick they have right now for Keller, but maybe a Panthers pick with Logan Mailloux or a player like that, top prospect, a Philippe Mazar or something like that. And I just mentioned name. I don't say, oh, coach, you want to trade Mailloux. I'll just give you a name, a package deal, a solid good one. It would be Keller, it could be there. But is it the time to do this right now? I'm not sure. Is it too early? I'm not sure. But the name are there. That is a bit harsh, man. A little. I thought Montreal have lost a lot of pushback. Galchenyuk, Domi, and Anderson. Yes, I understand about that. Galchenyuk, Domi, and Anderson. But depend what you get in return for Anderson, A2. You don't leave Anderson with nothing in return, right? So at the end of the day, maybe Anderson get you this, and but this have to come back all the way on from the top to on the top of the tree with Galchenyuk at the beginning. Kokanemi, a draft pick, Devorak. This is that's what is confusing here, guys. You cannot put Kokanemi in the same language or the same time with Devorak. It's two different transactions. Kokanemi was not traded to Carolina. And Devorak was not involved with Carolina trade with Kokanemi. It's another sheet for Carolina for get Kokanemi. That's it, that's all. Yeah, nothing else. Now, Marc Bergevin turned around and he tried to get a center. He was under panic mode. And now he get a first round pick for Christian Devorak. But you cannot put on the same equation Kokanemi. The losing Kokanemi make Marc Bergevin make an action or reaction. But you cannot put Devorak with that. That's with Kokanemi. It's two different like that. You know me. You can talk about Sergachev with Drouin. We can go all the way like that. McDonald for Gomez, and you know that's it's really difficult to consider that way over there. Yeah, always everything, guys. Everything make a bad trade, and they make bad signature. And we can go that equation every team. And we can go with Anaheim Ducks, and we can go all the way to the end with Winnipeg Jets, right? And you can checking every year. They have a one bad contract, and they have really one bad trade at some point. Depend on what you value does not hit you. Frederic is in the house. That make me pratique with Contenders. Don't win, just play. Frederic, they won tonight with Jacket, by the way. I'm going to send now you two second, third round pick. When an attack, you can still place a second answer. An attack, what Marchand is a chicken. He will not taking the liberty he took last night. He would have arbor around there. I don't think so, Pierre. I'll be disagree with you about that. I understand what you mean by who they are, but Marchand is no matter who is on the ice. Marchand was not the king. Oh, because Jacka is not there, I will let Bergeron that way. When you have a culture, when you have that kind of culture, you play as a team together, and nobody can hurt our best players, our best star. Everybody would jump in the pack. And that's happening yesterday. Marchand don't really care about the penalties. He wants to be sure Pitlick never do it again to Bergeron. And he would be under the players. Someone, somehow, for the Boston Bruins will run after that players. That's who they are. That's the culture you bring on the table. Right? And that's what you want to have. And that's the only thing I would say to you. I'm disagree with you. Whatever Anderson, Jacka was on the ice, they don't matter. They will go there. I'm telling you right now. If you hit Bergeron, if you hit McEnvoy, if you hit Marchand, if you hit Krejcik, if you hit Pasnak, I'm telling you right now, you're going to see 4 other black jersey with yellow jumping on you right away. That would be that who they are, the Boston Bruins. And then after that, you're going to have Frederic. You're going to have other players running after you all night long. You're going to have Bertuzzi. They're going to get other players try to hit Suzuki, and they're going to get running after Caulfield. You're going to go that way over there. Whatever is Jacky, Anderson, Ferguson, Nyland is there. This is who they are, the Boston Bruins. They build that way. And that's the culture they bring. So what I was trying to say to you, Pierre, it's no matter if Jacky was there, Anderson, Marchand would go there. He will go there because they hit Bergeron. That for me, that's what I believe. Pierre Marchand, so it was Pitlick. That's why he did it. It's no matter. It's no matter it was Pitlick, or it was Jake Evans, or it was Suzuki, or it was Anderson. He will go there. And it would be Anderson. I can use that. He will use his stick to go there. But he will try to get there for sure. That's who they are, the Boston Bruins. And that's been this forever. Improve your skill without having the stress to perform. What you type the team do you want, coach? Are you not always talking about the size, the speed? Is it the time to trade him for a pick, etc.? I'm not sure on that all right now. A year or two maybe. But it depends, right? And then you always think, you have many ways I can go that way right there. The Martin St. Louis try to intensify his team on what we try to understand what he tried to accomplish. So Martin St. Louis want a team with speed. Martin St. Louis want a team with transition. Martin St. Louis want to join the rush with the defenseman, right? And that's what they are. Of course, you can go defensive zone. That's what they want to build. And for me, I can understand what he tried to accomplish. Now, Montreal is still 1 year. The year number one, the rebuild guy, is this next year. Year number one to rebuild is next year, not this year. This year, they just patch up the old. They just try to eliminate everything. The Shane Weber contract. Now they're going to let it go to Rouen. They let it go that enough. They got money out over there. They try to eliminate the contract they have. Next year, they're going to losing Hoffman after that. And then going to be they really believe. Now they're going to get the fruit of the prospect they draft now next year. You're going to have the year number two of the Jacky, Sokoski, and everything like that. You're going to have maybe one or two rookies join the Montreal Canadiens. You have a player like 21 years old who was driving the Montreal Canadiens, like Jason Allen, Hanneman, or maybe take advantage of this situation in Montreal. For me, rebuilding number one for the Montreal Canadiens is next year about that. I don't know if you're watching the game Colorado versus Arizona, but Vel Mecca right now, it just give us what it looked like a good goalie in NHL. Unbelievable. I think they have 4 breakaway or a 2-1 in the last 1 minute and a half, and he make all the save. And Arizona still 1-1. Anyhow, so that would be my biggest thing about that for the Montreal Canadiens. Now, that's what I'm not sure if it's right time to get a big name or make a big trade, make a UFA signature. I think they are 1 year earlier. I think the season 24 off-season 2024, that's what you're going to make a big slash. UFA, add what they're looking for. Position-wise, you're going to see exactly what Justin Barron they look like. They will exactly what they look like, the other players they have inside of this organization, and that will make them a little bit more what they want to be. Otherwise, I don't think so. The right time. Why? I don't want to trade Josh Anderson, but if they get something good in return, why not? Why not? Because I don't see Josh Anderson be a part of the plan at long term with Montreal Canadiens. Because I'm not sure how he's going to be. Look about Gallagher, guys. Gallagher hit the 31 years old now. Look, he fall apart. If you look about Josh Anderson, how many years he has with no injuries. Every year he got something. I don't know what his body will look like in 31 years old, 32 years old. When it be, Montreal is going to be very close where they at. Sometimes you have to sacrifice to get maybe better something in return at the right time. Montreal can get there right now. Montreal is not there for the next 3 years. So for me, in my opinion, if you can get something good in return for Josh Anderson, do it. Otherwise, just wait one more year and see what they look like, and maybe he's going to develop. But I don't see a Josh Anderson get 30 goals and 50 points in NHL right now. But, I'm not better at each one of you or assume. Depend what Martin Louis have a plan. Gary said he likes Josh Anderson. You know what? Josh Anderson last 6 weeks, he was maybe one of the top best 3 players for the Montreal Canadiens. Can he carry on this all year long? I'm not sure. But great question. Most of the team nowadays have 1 or 2 points per game players. Who is the Montreal system as a potential point per game players? Great question, and Rabinab, about that. I don't see any player for the Montreal Canadiens have that kind of player, other than the fact what they have already in the Montreal. So, Caulfield, Suzuki, and Dach are the 3 players we can go that way with there. Defensively, defensemen, I don't know if Lane Hudson become that way. I don't think so. And they don't have anybody in the not Hua, not Kidney, and not Mezal, not Farrell are going to be 1 point per game. They will have to get that kind of players only by UFA or by trade at this moment, in my opinion. To add, because I don't think so they have this one now. Now, the number 5 you're going to draft is Will Smith, example. I don't know he's going to be that kind of players. But great question. Pitlick was brave enough to defend a teammate too. Pierre, Martin, I believe Boston has manhandled quite a few teams this year. I'm not alone. William McClary. I mentioned Pitlick, a hockey goon. About that, we will see. We'll see for Arson, but it took a good Frederic. Plays if Anderson gone for season, yes, it's over for him. Done. You have 10 games to go. If you can trade Anderson for a top young goalie, then I'm all for it. I have to improve the team right away. Cannot waste an asset like Anderson just to give some young players more ice time. No, you don't give away Anderson. It's not what I said. You only trade Anderson if you get something in return. And I don't know what would be the package deal. But at the same time, that opened the door. The question is, do you believe Josh Anderson is a part of the plan for the Montreal Canadiens? That's my question. The $5.5 million you gave to you, maybe you can pay Caulfield, maybe you can pay Cooley, maybe you can pay Hudson, maybe you can pay Sakoski. I don't know. But again, is it a part at 32 years old, one of Montreal Canadiens at 31 years old, one of Montreal Canadiens are going to be a good team in NHL? Do you think Josh Anderson is going to be a really good part of the plan for the Montreal? That will be my only question about that, though, on that. That's it. If it's not, what we can trade him now and what we can get in return, I'm not sure. But that's what we talk about, right? And I said we have to trade him. Not at all. But if we get something good in return and we pay the price, I think that would be good for him. And that will spend the way, open a spot for one position, get more money to use the money for a UFA or to pay the player you want to pay in your organization. And because I feel like at 20 gold per year, 30 points, and to be at 29, 30 years old and carry on at $5.5 million, I think we can get something bigger in return to have and with the asset we get for me. You hit those likes, and at that, I'm glad you are feeling better. Here we go. Mayu can fight about that. And a question came to the back of the head. That was really not appropriate, Pierre Martin. You talk about the cross-checking again, Mike Pesada yesterday from Ziboril. I think this was not the right things about that. The call was not there, and they scored right away after that. That was not the good about this happening, Pierre Martin. And same thing, guys, like Anderson, guys, do you feel like Anderson, Sergachev was a penalty or not penalty? Do you think he should deserve a penalty for tripping or not for Sergachev? Anyhow, Pierre Martin, a good point about Mike Pesada. Marchand is small, but he is a tough customer, play much bigger than he is. On that point, yes, when you talk about toughness about him, where he play hockey, you're absolutely right. Two smaller players usually play bigger with a big physical lineman. But they're helping for sure, Nicholas, right? When you have I don't know, a guy beside, he knows if something happening is there, you feel better on the bench, like everybody, right? When you go play on the road, when you know it's going to be physical, you know it'll be hard when the playoffs start, when the playoffs are on, you play at the one location, you know they're going to hit you hard, but you appreciate you have a bigger name, a bigger guys, and your linesmen for sure. KLS is in the house. Welcome back. Cannot believe Gray only got one game. I agree with you about that one over there. People don't see that. I was sharing to you guys. I can't remove those pictures right now. But look like Mike Hoffman this morning at home, cross-checking on the check right there. And look like he's not very happy. Mike Hoffman said, only one game for that? Are you kidding me? That's what Mike Hoffman responded last night. For that one. We're going to finish this show very soon. What team do you see bring in the final dancer for the cup? Really interesting about that. I still believe Boston Bruins have everything to go all the way on the playoff, the Stanley Cup. The West Conference guy is open up. It's a wide open. It's wide open. The team going to make spot number 7, number 8, the Winnipeg and the Seattle. They are out of the dance, right? Edmonton, Kings, Vegas, Dallas, Minnesota, Colorado. I will remove Minnesota of the equation, but I have difficult time to remove everybody else because everybody have a hole and their team. Dallas, the defense is for me not good enough. They are slow. After you take out Eskinen, I think for me they don't have enough. Sutter does not play like he was before. They have some depth forward. They have a good goaltender, but I'm a little bit concerned about the defensive over there. I know they have Lendl, Anderson, but I'm a little bit worried about the second pairing overall for them. Minnesota, not good enough for me. The center line is not good there. The Colorado, but we know right now without Lester Gog, they are going still pretty good. They're getting there, but again, they not have the second center particular them. So it's a little bit the door open for them. Vegas, goaltending situation, Jonathan Quick, Thompson, Aiden Hill, and then that would be my biggest concern. The injury Max Stone, another red flag over there. Who can play at the top 6 over there? The Los Angeles Kings, maybe the most complete team over there, in my opinion, from defensemen, for the forward, for all the line, but the goaltender, Kopisalu, co-play. Can they carry that team all the way? This is my biggest concern. Edmonton, you know already what's going on over there. It's honestly the goaltending situation that is so, and Edmonton. So to give you the get answer, I don't know. But I just give you an idea when you evaluate the team, who they are and what they have. For me, if you think about an underdog or a team, people always have a good year at the playoff. Nobody expect. We see this Islanders before. We see the Blues. We see the Washington. We see the Montreal Canadiens did it. Every year, they have a team. I think I'll be my biggest concern for any other team in the West Conference. Watch out the Los Angeles Kings. Be careful. The Kings could make a big impact. And I would say to you, they play Edmonton and they take out Edmonton out. That would be really huge impact for them to continue to have that kind of momentum to go through Vegas after that. And then after that, you never know what could happen. So the Kings for me are the team, my underdog team on my Stanley Cup, Willie. Wow. Never thought we're going to get that with us tonight, my friend. Marchand has been a cheat shot artist and he become an NHL. Final for Boston, Carolina, Colorado, Edmonton for Rabinoff. I don't think Carolina would be there, in my opinion. Boston, yes. Colorado, yes. Edmonton, I'm sure have some kind of... Edmonton have to go through the Kings. They have to go through the Vegas Golden Knights. This is going to be a huge, huge task for them. But I don't say you're not wrong, and Rabinoff, but I don't see Carolina right now there for what I saw that. I can agree to Bergeron left a disaster behind. Yes, I agree with you. Great show, Coach. You're welcome. Triple W. Thank you for the super chat. We have 7-8 slate on the draft. Anything can happen. RG Calabro, thank you. 50 game on the schedule. How about that? I saw Hoffman face pretty ugly. Yeah, remember when Lucic, Rand, Miller, and all the five server on the ice did nothing. Bad culture at Buffalo. Boston very 30 players. Double it. Shaw is not there anymore. They don't care. Scare me. Porber could have been on the ice for Ab. The response was coming no matter what. Yeah, I agree with you, Coach, about the culture in Boston. For me, Marchand is one of the all-time 30 players in the NHL with intention to injure. Again, Pierre, I'm not disagreeing what you said. I honestly believe what you said about what kind of player he is, Marchand. Honestly, play many times. I would say to you, borderline. Great hockey player. The guy can play hockey. But he played with the borderline rules for sure. Thanks so much, RJ, for information. Claude Allen, that did, and the Montreal. Claude, do we need more snap paper like a MEILLEUR next year? I don't think so. I think it's not what they're looking for. Now, snap paper, are you talking about, physicality, everything like that? I don't think so. I think they are already set up. Their lineup is already they have not many spots over there. So I don't think so. It's going to have a lot overall about that one. You have a first overall pick after finishing dead last. What's year number one of the rebuild, Coach? That addition is number one step of the rebuild. But I understand your point. Yeah. So what I was trying to tell you, A2, is because what they got in their hands, and they are limited for what they have to do different move, to be a little bit more freedom. And that's what I'm talking about. So I understand what you try to tell me, but that's why my year number one rebuild is next year, not this year. This year they waste. They try to clean up everything. And that's what opened up like $20 million. Like the Drouin, that enough, Monahan right there. The Weber, if you want to add this on that equation, Biron's leaving. And then you have, now after that, you only need to have Hoffman in their hands, and then Armia, right? So that's only two. So that's what I'm talking about. A2. I understand what you want, what we're trying to do. Thanks so much for all the like we got tonight. And so it should be going now. Will the Jet trade Pierre-Luc Dubois at the draft with a longer contract in place to make the trade to accommodation him and get Tiger baggage that way? Again, it's got me to my question again. Is it the time Montreal to step up right away with him? Is it what they need to step up one more year? Is it not the year Montreal should finish at the bottom 7 next season to get another great pick? Again, Coach? Yes, again. That's because that's what it takes. Is it the fact maybe they get Bedard or they get Fantilli and Pierre-Luc Dubois disappear? Right? The fact they get Michkov and then they can say, you know what, maybe we don't need anybody right now. We don't know yet. Those questions, those answers going to be happening at the NHL draft May 8th. I'll give you an example about Pierre-Luc Dubois. I will not pay anything for Pierre-Luc Dubois. The risk is still there. You don't know if he's going to repeat exactly what he did this year. Is it only a 1 year, or is it another way he get more? I don't know about that. But if you're asking me personally, I would say no, don't do it. Wait. You don't need a 1 year earlier Pierre-Luc Dubois to make your team to become great. Wait the next following year, because year number 2 or year after this next year, I think that's what the Montreal need to step up now. They need to add a UFA, players, 2 players, solid in NHL at 24, 25, 26 years old. Make a trade for something in return for me. I agree. And our tap hopefully can get good return for Anderson. Okay, I have to trade Alexandre. I bring here Morgan Frost, one of the best friend of Suzuki, played round 0.5 per game, 6 foot for 2 second round pick. Morgan Frost is for the Flyers, guys. Good hockey players. Never reach his full potential, but that's, I would say to you, Alexandre, that's kind of players Montreal can look around. Now, I don't know if Flyers want to trade him, right? But that's kind of plus where now the Montreal could get something like that. But I like you talk about Morgan Frost. I think that's the one over there. I think could be that kind of plus. But don't know what he can get there. Good night, Eshana. A wonderful group. A terrific hockey talk. What else would expect last night, tomorrow, early? Thanks so much, William. We're going to get there very soon anyway. Thanks so much. A great trade. If they good trade, but no rush. Exactly about that. We all agree topic will be unbelievable. I don't see what happened. I can enjoy the Brad. Ouch, Nicholas. Thank you, Coach. I've enjoyed your broadcast, but this time too bad. Good night, Larry Lavalley. Welcome, my friend. I'll be changed in a shirt to fire along the talent. Good night, Larry. I have a son, Coach. I love hockey national shooting. So, William, Woody. Coach, would be there to any interest in Edmondson from other team this summer? We don't talk about him. That's another one. You can get something. Now, don't expect too much in return. Now, the lower back problem is not there. I think you can get a second round pick and return for that. Luc Laverson, RHP, 3 years at $1.5 million. Yeah, we never talk about that one over there. Luc, welcome back in the house, by the way. I think for me, Edmondson don't give you a first round pick, but Edmondson could be a package deal to get, with example, like Anderson and Edmondson to get something bigger. Edmondson can bring those kind of interests, looking for a second pairing defenseman. And I'm going to be funny. You're going to laugh at me. Washington Capitals and the Pittsburgh Penguins are maybe interested to join Edmondson. Pittsburgh losing Dumoulin, and I think they are not very happy about him. And I think that will help bring, they have P.O. Joseph over there, they play third pairing. I think Edmondson could be a kind of player that Pittsburgh could looking for. The Washington losing 5 of the top 6 player defensemen. Maybe 4 of them, they're looking to find some kind of depth on the defensemen. They are sending now Carlson be there. They signed Jensen. The assistant is missing a couple of pieces. They signed a DVR over there too. But again, I think that will be helping to get Edmondson there. So Edmondson could have some team looking for a guy like him. Can Oilers Edmonton get him? I'm not sure. But that would be something like that, PR, in return. RHP guy, 1 million, 1.5, 2 million, 3 million. RHP, 3 years. He's 24 years old. He can become UFA after that. Look, I agree with you. I think you nail it. $1.5 million. Now, if you put him on the, I think to sugar him, you can maybe give him $1 million, $2 million. I always said that way, guys. $1 million, one way only, and for 2 years. So he guarantees $1 million to play at Laval or with Montreal, but you get him for 2 years at least and see how he's going to develop with the Montreal Canadiens. Now, if you get him a full-time job, he's 24. He's going to be UFA in 3 years. He's a UFA in 3 years. You can get him a 2 years contract at 1.5 or a 3 years contract when you become UFA. Yeah, you talk about the number. Look, I agree with you about that one over there. With you. That said, the Montreal necessary, but more thinking is the Jets start to rebuild. Yeah, they would try to get something there. Like I said earlier, they have to make some kind of big decision to the Jets during off summer, because many of them are 1 year contract apart. So they will have to figure out, okay, what we do with Sheffley? Can Sheffley want to return? What do we do with Pierre Dubois? And those kind of the answer they need. Nicolas Heller, the Kyle Connors, the Morrissey, the Oilebach, those core have to figure out their name and to see what we do here. They are called for Perfetti over there, a great prospect. But again, Nicholas, that's the team. And those kind of team guys finish World Cup number 2, right? World Cup number 1, 17, 15, 16, 17, 18. You don't like it to be there year after year because you don't draft high. And that's what the Jet been for the last 2 years. So they have to figure out something else, Nicholas. I think we should move Edmondson ESPA because all the defensemen. Yes, that's another good reason, Pierre Martin, for that. Maybe Fleurs and Brière want to rebuild. They definitely go that direction, Alexandre. This is black and white. For them, is black, orange, and white. They really go that direction, in my opinion. And they will have now. I'm not sure they would consider to trade Forster, Morgan Frost, Carter Hart. I'm not sure he's a part. I know Hart said he want to get out. But Owen Tippett, example. But they will have to get something. You talk about Gallagher, Montreal. They have a very bad apple over there with Kevin Hayes' contract. GVR become UFA. They have a very long contract with Ristolainen, like Josh Anderson with the Flyers. They just signed him over there. And I can go all the way like that. But definitely Alexandre is going to go that direction. But I don't know they're going to trade a guy like 23 years old, 24 years old. They get something good in return, possible. Can Montreal really believe Morgan Frost is one of the players they really can become another Kirby Dach? I don't know. But they cost Ramanov. They cost the cost of the Flyers, the Panthers. They have that kind of the situation. They can trade that pick to get something young players in return. But that's what we talked about earlier, the established player in NHL. Brière already said it's going to take time. It's going to the right. Great, who can play very well, can be useful or light. It's going to be a very long process. You're going to take out that picture, coach. He looked like injured Marco. That's a good one. Look at Marco, the best friend of the Marco Larrabee is Mike Hoffman, guys. So don't forget, we're going to be back at Brunch, your Sunday rendezvous at this Sunday morning. We'll be back here Sunday night, guys. The Sunday night become a really good show at the Hockey Nation Live Tonight show. More people come Friday night and the Sunday night, and in our tap, he become now the co-host of the show. So we expect him to be back with us Sunday night. So don't forget that show. And I can't wait to have everybody back. I think we did very good tonight. We cover a lot of things about Montreal, could be Dach, and Nick Ski. I think it was a great conversation. But again, guys, the moderator did a great job tonight. And of course, the people in the chat, you make that chat so fun. So for me, I love more to do this. I cover the Montreal Canadiens play-by-play because we have that kind of interaction. Your questions are great, and the people participate in the chat, talk very well. And that's all about at the end. I understand we wish we have 100 people. I understand we're not big. But at the end of the day, we have the quality people, and if we can survive that channel to move on forward, that would be the best thing for everybody. But again, on my bottom of my heart, I'm very grateful and thankful you trust me, and you trust this channel, and you come here every time. So thanks so much for each one of you. Have an amazing, great weekend, everybody. Enjoy your weekend of March. For people in Quebec, you are on the right direction. The snow is going to get out. The weather is coming better. Until then, my friend, we want to remind each one of you, because you are. This is for Luc Lafortune tonight. You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. You have greatness, look inside of you. Thanks so much, everybody, to be a part of the show tonight. We wish you an amazing, great weekend. Until then, be well, be well. Find a way not only dominate your day, find a way to dominate the first half of what, coach? Of course, your 2023. Until then, my friend, remember, we love you, people. Have an amazing, great night, everybody. Thank you so much again to be with me tonight. Talk to you next time. $2 million for RHP, said Claude Richard. RJ, thanks so much. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Thanks so much, Pierre Marquin. Always a pleasure having you. KLS, thanks so much. Next year will be better. Look, absolutely. Every year is going to be better. 2023 for RJ Calabro. Until then, guys, have an amazing, great night. Thank you, Pierre. oh, 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 oh,